All right, for ages, two names have just dominated the conversation when you talk about godly strength. Thor, the Norse God of Thunder, and Hercules, the Greek Prince of Power. They've been rivals, they've been allies, and they are, without a doubt, two of the heaviest hitters in all of mythology and comics. So let's finally do this. Let's break down this epic showdown and settle the score.
So that's the big question, right? When all the dust settles and the lightning fades, who's left standing? Is it the guy who commands the storm, or is it the Lion of Olympus? Well, the answer is a lot more complicated than you might think, and to find it, we've got to go all the way back to the beginning.
You know, before they were Avengers, these guys were the stars of entire religions. They literally shaped how ancient cultures saw strength, heroism, and divinity itself. So if we really want to get to the heart of this rivalry, we have to start with the original legends, where their insane power levels were first dreamed up.
Okay, so right off the bat, here's the fundamental difference between them. Thor was born a full-blown god. I mean, his dad is Odin, the All-Father, and his mom is literally the Earth itself. Power was just in his blood from day one. But Hercules, he started out as a demigod, son of Zeus and a mortal woman. He had to earn his spot on Mount Olympus by completing his legendary 12 labors. So you have one guy who was born into power and another who had to fight and claw his way to it.
And when you look at their original feats, the scale is just mind-blowing. Thor was once tricked into trying to lift the world's serpent, a snake so big it wrapped around the entire planet. He even drank so much of the ocean that he actually created the tides. But then you look at Hercules, who, get this, literally held up the entire sky for Atlas, the whole thing. So while they're both obviously on another level, that single feat holding up the heavens kind of suggests Herc has the edge in just pure, static, cosmic strength. Now, what about their gear? A god is only as good as his weapons, right? Thor's got two of the most famous items in mythology: Mjolnir, his hammer that can smash mountains, and Mjolnir, his belt of strength that literally doubles his power. But Hercules' loadout is kind of wild. He wears the skin of the Nemean lion, which is basically impenetrable armor, and his arrows, they're tipped with Hydra blood, a poison so nasty it's incurable, even for other gods. So you've got ultimate offense versus ultimate defense, plus a one-hit kill poison.
Of course, these legends didn't just stay in the past. They got a modern makeover. And for most of us, their rivalry wasn't defined in ancient texts, but right on the colorful pages of Marvel Comics. So let's jump forward and see how this ancient beef evolved over the last 60 years.
And their comic book history is just fantastic. It kicks off in 1965 with them acting like two stubborn kids, getting into a massive fight over who gets to cross a bridge first. I mean, classic. A year later, Hercules actually beats Thor in a fight because Odin cut Thor's power in half as a punishment. Over the years, their rivalry has gone from these deadly serious brawls to just hilarious, friendly competitions, like the time they literally swapped identities just to fight each other. You gotta love it.
In the comics, Thor's powers are just dialed up to 11. He's not just a strong guy with a hammer, he's basically a flying artillery battery. He controls weather on a planetary scale, and his durability is just absurd. We're talking surviving blasts from celestials and literally taking a bath in the core of the sun. And then there's the God Blast, an attack so powerful it's actually hurt Galactus. This really shows that his versatility is his greatest weapon.
But then you have Hercules, who is just pure, raw, physical power. His strength is often said to be incalculable. Like there's no real ceiling on how strong he can get. And get this, his body produces 0 fatigue toxins. That means he can literally fight forever and never get tired. He's a master fighter and carries a mace made of adamantine that's just as tough as Mjolnir. Hercules is the very definition of a tank.
And here's the kicker. While their power levels are incredibly close, the general feeling in the comics is that when it comes to just pure, raw physical strength, no hammers, no lightning, Hercules has a slight edge. There have been times where he's actually put Thor in a wrestling hold that the God of Thunder, with all his might, just could not break out of.
Okay, we've got the history, we've got the powers, we've got the weapons. It's time to put it all together. Let's run a simulation of a one-on-one fight, breaking it down phase by phase, and see how this legendary battle would actually go down. So the bell rings and the fight starts at a distance. Thor immediately does the smart thing. He takes to the sky. That's his biggest advantage. He starts blasting Herc with lightning, calling down hurricanes. Hercules is stuck on the ground, but he's not defenseless. He's got his bow, and if he's using those Hydra venom arrows, this phase is incredibly dangerous for Thor. You have to remember, Thor is destined to die from poison at Ragnarok. One little nick from one of those arrows could end this whole thing right here.
But what if Hercules survives that storm and closes the gap? Well, now the tables have completely turned. If this fight goes to the ground, it's Hercules' world. As the inventor of pancration, his technical skill in grappling is just way beyond Thor's. He could probably get Thor into one of those holds he can't escape. Thor's only real move here would be to use his belt of strength to double his power, or maybe let loose a massive point-blank lightning blast just to break the hold.
And this brings us to the final phase, all-out war. Both of them just letting loose with everything they've got. It's a battle of pure attrition. Thor unleashes his most powerful attacks, maybe even the God Blast, but Hercules has the perfect counters, his Nemean lion skin for defense and that infinite stamina. So the real question becomes, can he just outlast Thor? Can he weather the storm until the God of Thunder is finally exhausted?
All right, the analysis is done. We've looked at the myths, we've looked at the comics, so let's break this down and give a final verdict based on two different scenarios.
First up, a straight-up fight. No hammer, no lightning, no tricks, just pure muscle and wrestling skill. In that scenario, who wins? In a contest of pure strength and grappling, the winner is, without a doubt, Hercules. And the reason is pretty simple. His raw strength just seems to have a higher ceiling, and he's an absolute master of pancration. Thor is a great brawler, for sure, but Hercules is arguably the greatest pure wrestler in all of fiction. In a straight-up grappling match, that combination of skill and raw power gives Hercules the win.
Okay, but what if we change the rules? Scenario 2, an all-out war. Mjolnir, lightning, Hydra arrows, the Nemean lion skin, everything is fair game. No holds barred.
In an all-out war with their full arsenals, the victory goes to the God of Thunder.
And here's why. Versatility beats pure power. Thor can fly, which means he controls the distance of the entire fight. Hercules is a beast, but he's stuck on the ground. Thor's ability to call down storms, shoot energy from his hammer, and even teleport just gives him way too many options, way too many ways to win. He can just wear Hercules down from a distance where all that incredible strength doesn't even matter.
So, it seems pretty clear, right? Hercules wins the brawl, Thor wins the war. But it might not be quite that simple. What if this whole epic battle could be decided by one single fatal weakness?
And this is the thought I really want to leave you with. In his own myths, Thor is fated to be killed by the venom of the world serpent. His single biggest weakness is poison. And what is Hercules' most deadly weapon? A bow and arrow dipped in incurable Hydra poison. So, in an all-out war, maybe it just takes one lucky shot. One arrow finding its mark could flip the whole script and give Hercules the ultimate win. So, who really wins? Maybe it all comes down to that one single deadly arrow.